Good morning, class. Welcome to the online classes for physics of class 12th. In the previous session, we were going with the chapter magnetism and the matter. We have completed few topics. Today, we are going to know about what the hysteresis loop is. Before that, what we have seen about the magnetic materials, that there are different substances which can be said as a magnetic material according to the point of their or the strength of their magnetization, right? Whenever they are repelled by the magnet and in the opposite direction of that magnetic field, then that particles are said to be the diamagnetic particle. And in the paramagnetic particle, they are feebly attracted by the magnet and in the direction of the magnetic field, right? So the objects which does not get at all attracted by the magnet and in the direction or in the opposite direction, then it is said to be the diamagnetic substance. Now when it comes about the paramagnetic, then they used to show the magnetism or they get magnetized by the magnetic field, but only in the direction of the magnetic field, but there will be a low or the feeble magnetization was there. Okay, and for the paramagnetic material, they are strongly attracted by the magnet and in the direction of the magnetic field. So for this example, we know iron, copper, nickel. Okay, so these are the materials which are get easily attracted by the magnet, so they are said to be the ferromagnetic material. So these materials have their own values for the magnetizing intensity and the magnetic field, right? Magnetizing field intensity, that is given by H, and the magnetic induction is given by B, that is magnetic field, and the magnetizing intensity of the getting magnetized is given by the I, right? So just to tell how this materials get magnetized, they use a graph. Here it will be talking about a ferromagnetic material. Okay, for a ferromagnetic material, we will see how they will get magnetized by the particle, because it easily gets magnetized by the magnetic field, right, and get attracted towards the magnet in the direction of the magnetic field, right, and they used to move from a stronger part to the weaker part of the field, right. So in the domains of this magnetic field, paramagnetic material of that ferromagnetic material in the magnetic field, they get aligned themselves, right, they get aligned themselves, and that too in the parallel direction to that of the magnetic field, right. And when they are unmagnetized, they used to move in a random direction, and when they are getting magnetized slowly by the magnetic field, now they used to move and they expand the region. So when these domains get rotated, then the external magnetic field is applied, right. So when they get rotated by this external magnetic field, at last they try to make it parallel to that of the magnetic field. Okay, so here we can say that in the removal, when the magnetic field is removed from the object, when the object is placed, when we have seen that the magnetic field is applied to it, right, then it allows the domains to align themselves in the parallel direction to that of the magnetic field. Now if the this magnetic field, external magnetic field which is applied, is taken out, now what will happen, it will try to, it should repelled out, right, because the external magnetic field is not there. But what they used to do, that some magnetization is still in the field, so the object is now also magnetized even after that external magnetic field is removed, right. So this magnetic field which is still there in the object after removing the external magnetic field, it is saying to be the retained, that is the retentivity. We will be seeing that same thing in the graph also, that is retentivity. So now we will be seeing about the hysteresis loop or a hysteresis curve. So what that it is, it will depend on these properties of the ferromagnetism, that it moves from the stronger field to that of the weaker, and it get easily attracted by the magnet, and the domains of this ferromagnetic material align themselves in the parallel direction to that of the magnetic field. And after the removal of this magnetic field also, they have some magnetic field or some residual magnetism is there still in the object, or this property is said to be the retentivity, right. So here we will be seeing in the graph also. So what this hysteresis loop is, that is the graph which can be drawn between the magnetizing field intensity and the magnetic intensity, that is I and H, or the magnetic field and the magnetization intensity, that is B and H. So we can say many variations in this H and B and I and H. So you can relate any two values. Okay, so here this is the graph which you can see in the figure, that is BH curve, also said to be hysteresis, or IH curve. So we know that the ferromagnetic, whenever it is placed in a magnetic field or a magnetizing field, they get magnetized, right? So some magnetic field, what is the field intensity? That is the strength with which it will try to make that magnet magnetized. And with what strength it is getting magnetized, it is said to be the magnetic field intensity, right? What is the intensity of magnetization? So that magnetic field intensity is said to be H, and how much it is getting magnetized, it is said to be I. And similarly, if we talk about a magnetizing field, then it is given by the B letter. Okay. So here the graph will be between B and H, and you can see in I and H also. So what we know, that here you can see the variation, that this is the 0 point where you can see A, that is the 0 point. Whenever a sample is kept there, the magnetic field, let it be that it is at 0. So magnetic field is 0. So initial unmagnetized state of the ferromagnetic sample, it is given as that magnetizing field smallly or similarly they will be increasing, right? They will be gradually increasing. Now before increasing, this is the point where the magnetic field intensity and the magnetic field B both are 0. That is, the body did not get magnetized now. Now what they will do, as the magnetic field intensity will increase, the magnetizing field will be also increase, and due to which the intensity of magnetization will also increase, that is I will also increase. So what this will happen, the figure is showing here that it is increasing, right? This is the initial buildup, but if you talk about this one, this is the curve for the increasing, that is the positive saturation is there, positive value is there for the graph. So this is the increase of the magnetic field, due to which the intensity of the magnetization also increase. Now after a point, we know that at a point where it gets saturates, and this is what the saturation point is. At this point the magnetic intensity increases and saturates, that is the maximum value for the H, it will get saturated, right? And what we will do now, that the magnetic field will decrease, that is it will be decreasing, but along a new path, that is C here, it will be decreasing like this. So this is what the decreasing point, right? Now similarly, when it decrease, after decreasing, what it will be, that it does not become 0. See, it does not touch the 0, but at initial point it was 0, but now it is not 0. What does it mean? There is some still magnetism, or the still residual magnetism is there in the substance, that is some magnetism or the magnetic induction still left behind in the sample. After that magnetic field decrease, that is magnetic or external magnetic field is removed, then also the magnetism is still remained in that sample. This is said to be the residual magnetism. And if we talk about to decrease more than 0, then what it will happen, that it will reverse direction, it will decrease. Okay, now in the reverse direction it is getting decreased. Okay, now again what it happen, it will come to a point where the residual magnetism also become 0. So what we can say, with decreasing value of the B or the H will also decrease and become 0 at a value, and that value of reverse magnetizing field, and that to become 0, that is the residual magnetism, to make it 0, that point is said to be the coercivity, or the coforce is also be said that. But coercivity is this point, that this here this will the coercive force, because after this we have to make it 0, that is the residual magnetism is also allowing to make it 0. So that point will be said to be the coercive force, and that point will be given as coercivity of that sample, right? So on further decreasing it, we will be getting a reverse direction graph. Similarity, if H is again increased, that is H will be increased. So after going through this curve, the closed curve is we are getting, right? After increasing it, we will getting it again to a point saturation, and this saturations are said to be the positive and the negative saturation, right? And this saturation is said to be of that sample with the magnetic field or after the magnetic field is removed. So the curve which we got, the complete loop which we getting from here, ferromagnetic sample, this is said to be the hysteresis loop. And the lagging of the magnetic induction behind the magnetizing field or after that removal of the magnetizing field, this graph is said to be the hysteresis loop, and the phenomenon is said to be the hysteresis. Okay, So what were the topics that we have seen? That whenever magnetic field is initially at 0, then H is also at 0, and when this magnetic field is increases, then the magnetizing curve also increases from the 0, because the domains are getting aligned themselves in the parallel direction. Similarly, this again the point is try to increase, but a point come where it not will increase its edge, that is they will get saturated. At that saturation point will be positive when it is in the plus graph. Now we know that the maximum point will occur where it will stop. This is said to be the knee point, and that point will be the saturation point, right? And now if we are trying to decrease the magnetic field, that is the value of the B is decreasing, then it will not come to 0, because there is still some magnetism remain in that sample, and this point where it is still does not come to 0, or the remained magnetism is said to be the residual magnetism, or the retentivity is given by. Okay, so after decreasing also it will get in the negative direction. There also it will get to the point where it will stop showing the magnetic field or intensity, that is H. So there will be a saturation point again, that will be the negative saturation. Okay, so this is retentivity or the residual magnetism. Okay, now we have seen that after increasing again it will come to the end point where the positive saturation was there. So a complete loop is get, which is said to be the hysteresis loop. So what was the retentivity? That is after the removal of the magnetic field also, there is some residual magnetism in the magnetic material. So it is a material's ability to retain some amount of residual magnetic field when the magnetic field is also removed, and this point is said to be the saturation point. After the saturation, this point is said to be the residual magnetism or the retentivity. So this magnetic residual at the some point of this magnetizing sample is said to be the residual magnetism, and coercive force or coercivity is said to be the that whenever a body is not came to 0, that this sample does not came to 0, the magnetic field even it becomes 0, but then also the H value does not become 0. So to make it 0, it is again decreased, the value of H is again decreased. So this external force applied is said to be the coercive force, and the point where it is decreasing is said to be the coercive. Okay, so similar points we will see again for the different materials also. Okay, so we will be discussing about hysteresis loop again. I just have explained you that how this loop formed. Okay, thank you class.